Hey, what's up, guys? Sam here, and I'll be doing the free video for Friday, July 14th, 2023. So the market just closed 1 minute ago. Interesting close, interesting week overall. Strong week, not the best Friday close, but it doesn't do too much to hurt the charts so far. There's going to be one central point that I want to talk to you guys about here on the YouTubes, and it's going to be the usage of, or maybe the understanding of 3 sigma or 3 standard deviations. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Keltner channels or ATRs, average true range, and I'm sure a lot of you are actively using them, whether it's 2 ATR or 3 ATR in your charts. But I want to introduce the competing concept of 3 standard deviations to your thinking. We won't have full time to do this in a free video today, but it is something that you can very quickly add to any trading platform by going to your indicators, type in Bollinger, make sure you set it to 3 standard deviations on a 20 period on exponential, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So for perspective, and I know you can't see it on the charts, maybe I should show you. Let me show you. Let me show you why this is important. So I'm going to start at January 1st, and we're just going to go ahead and take a look here. The white lines there, if you want to pause, go back and pause, those are Keltner channels. I'm going to get rid of them. And I'm only going to leave 3 standard deviations here on the NDX. So just for perspective, 3 standard deviations statistically will capture about 99.7% of the price action, meaning that if you're betting that price will go above the magenta lines, or below the magenta lines for that matter, you will only, probabilistically speaking, it will only happen 0.3% of the time. 0.3, not 3, 0.3. So kind of a rare situation by design. And let's go through the chart real quick and see how many times since January 1st to today we've actually hit 3 standard deviations on the NDX. So I'm going to trace it in, and I'll stop when it hits. Now, mind you, the NDX from this low to the high today is up 50% on the year. So it's not like it's been a dull market. And you'll note for the entire year, a year where the market is up 50%, it has hit 3 sigma, the top of the magenta line, exactly 0 times. Except today. And yesterday, frankly. So this is an extraordinarily rare moment. Earlier in the gold room during my session, I was telling them that I had gotten short NVIDIA because NVIDIA was doing the same thing. And again, this is an extraordinarily rare thing. Did I expect NVIDIA to go from 479, where I shorted it, down to almost 450? No, not at all. But can I at least probabilistically say that that is an unsustainable move, and it is worth betting against those rare moments in time? Effectively, it's like getting dealt pocket aces in poker, right? Like if you have pocket aces, your opponent has kings, you get in all the money pre-flop. What are the probabilities that you beat your opponent when you have aces and they have kings? It's 85-15. So even with a dominated hand, like aces over kings, you will still lose 15% of the time. This is as close to pocket aces in trading as you can have, because if aces versus kings in poker is 85% of the time, this is 99.7% of the time. So got to take action on those moments. And also, this kind of sets up the next phase. So if you've never looked at this before and you're more of a Keltner channel user, ATRs, 3 ATRs and whatnot, do a little bit of experimenting this weekend. See which one actually accomplishes what you think they should be accomplishing, because I think you might find a little bit more edge using those. So let's go back over here to the NDX. I just wanted to show you that to put it in context, because if I don't actually show it to you, telling you 3 sigma is probably not going to mean much. But when you see it on the chart, when you see the NDX is up 50% in a year, half a year, and it's had crazy moves pretty much all year. It's not like it's gone vertical. And today and yesterday were the first 2 days that it hit 3 sigma. It puts it in context. So let's go over here. So understanding that we just hit 3 sigma, and understanding the unlikeliness of that event, what's next? Well, we put in this kind of ugly reversal candle here on the NDX, right? We kind of shot for the sky, closed at the lows, closed red after being deep green, and that could act as a little bit of a pause. So if we go through the chart, and this is pretty much the only articulate thing that I'm going to give you other than the conversation around the 3 sigma, is let's grade out our chart. So in terms of grading out our chart, there's going to be a couple things that I'm looking for, and they're all going to be pretty simple. I'm looking for a green bar or a red bar. Green would be bullish. I'm looking for the green line to be above the red here, and both above 50. And I'm looking for the last signal on the high-low pro to be a buy signal, and also green above red. So let's go through it. Do we have green bar? Check. Is this correct? Check. Is this correct? Check. Do we grab a green bar? Check. Is this correct? Check. Is this correct? Check. Is this correct? It is correct. It's sloping down. I won't give it an X. It's still correct. That's correct too. And then finally you get your first red bars here. Right, so overwhelmingly, if I were to grade the chart out, it is still an 8 out of 9 bullish. But the question is, do I want to buy it right here, right now? And the answer is going to be pretty resounding no. And the reason being is we hit 3 standard deviations up, 3 sigma up to today for the first time all year. I view that as kind of like the climax, right? It's like it's building, it's building, it's building, it feels so good, and then boom, climax, and now the market's going to take a nap. So what am I wanting to see next? Well, is there any problems on the weekly chart? No. Is there any problems on the daily chart? Not really. That's not a great candle, but it's not a big deal. Are there problems on the hourly chart? A little bit. More importantly, on the hourly chart, we're not in the support zone. And the support zone would be right in here between the hourly 21 and the hourly 50. So what I want to see, as soon as Monday, I'll accept it by Tuesday, is for the indicator to actually come down and kind of like it did right here, turn and give me a buy arrow. I want some of this steam, some of this fluff to come off the move. Give me a nice pullback back into the buy zone here. Give me a nice arrow that I can anchor to. And then from there, everything will be realigned and we can take it higher. And if I don't happen to see that, guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to sit. I'm going to sit and wait for it to happen. So that's pretty much it. I don't have very much other than that. Going into next week, what I told the folks in the Gold Room is just watch the small-term time frame charts. Like starting next week on Monday, I'll be watching a 5 and a 15-minute chart on the SPX and the NDX, and then just trying to get a read from there. If the 15-minute chart starts to rebuild immediately, then we can go ahead and play ball until we get the next series of issues. However, my bias is that it actually won't rebuild very quickly, and we're going to be in a little bit of a slight pullback mode. Which should be a buy the dip moment, but make sure that before you buy the dip blindly at a specific level, make sure that you have a level to anchor to, and then make sure that your momentum signals have turned and triggered in the other direction before you get in long. If you don't happen to see that, there's absolutely no problem just sitting on your wallet and waiting for the signal to develop. Alright guys, that's my time. Hopefully this was helpful. Make sure you leave us a like. Before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, leave us a subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll catch you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Cheers. Hey traders, this is Sam with Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you found the information in it helpful. If you did, leave us a like, leave us a comment. It really does help us out with the algorithm. And if you want to see us trade live with our own real money and be part of the community, come and check us out at simplertrading.com.